everybody, Kyle here, West Coast Wook Live. I just wanted to take this video to say a couple things and to tell a story that I hold pretty important to myself. There's a saying, if you want what mediocre people don't have, you have to be willing to do things that mediocre people aren't willing to do. And I believe that. I believe that if you want to overcome mediocrity, and if you don't want to succumb to the times, that you have to make yourself the exception. You have to rise above the crowd, essentially. Because when what is considered normal is to be weak, is to be unintellectual, is to be docile and helpless, you have to make yourself the exception in order to avoid being those things. Per the law of association, you become the average of all the people you spend the most time with. So if everybody is mediocre and everybody expects each other to be mediocre, like that's what is normal, then by default people are going to succumb to mediocrity. They're going to believe that that's the way things are meant to be. And honestly, I don't think that life is meant to be mediocre. I think life is meant to be joyful. It's supposed to be amazing and colorful and magical. But that they have, that society has convinced people that that's not the case. That you should just settle for mediocrity and believe that that's the way things are meant to be. And personally, in my own journey, I think that setting myself apart and trying to make myself the exception is kind of only ever benefited me. I can't say that it's solely benefited me, because it's led me into some pretty scary, dangerous places. But I'm grateful for those experiences, for those insights. I'm happy that I was brave enough to take those risks and to test life in order to figure out what I really want for myself, which is not mediocrity. It's been a long time coming, starting a YouTube channel and doing all this. I wanted to do this for like 10 years, and I keep just thinking like it could be another 10 years and I'd still be wishing that I did this, to the point where I think it's just time that I do it. I started off my YouTube just doing silly microgreen videos, and I moved on to doing wildlife videos, and that is how I got my first 1,000 view video was just recording a salamander by the creek. And if I can cover that much ground with that little effort, then it's inspiring, encouraging to me that I might be able to actually make something of this and do something with it. But I think in order to really do that, I have to embrace becoming the exception. And a part of all of that, a part of choosing to be great, choosing to strive for greatness, choosing to strive for a better life than what society has laid out for myself and for the masses, I have to be brave in the face of adversity. I essentially have to be able to decide, determine what is worth sacrificing my comfort and possibly even my safety for. Nothing great comes easy, and nothing easy is great. I think that having a YouTube and making videos like this, where I really get the outside perspective of myself, and I get there's a unique opportunity to reflect on oneself. I think that it can be really beneficial to it all. Like really great people, they end up doing this because it's another way of becoming a better person. It's another way of taking a outside look at yourself and realizing what you need to work on, what you could do better at. And that, by choosing that path, you have to be prepared to face adversity. Like by default, when you start to strive for greatness, when you start to strive for true success, like truly embodying your own spirit and your own truth, that people are naturally going to show up to oppose you, because by doing so, by striving for greatness, by striving for true success, by living in your truth, it highlights their own inability to strive for their own ambitions and aspirations, their own greatness. And so you have to be ready for that. You have to be ready to face adversity, and you have to be ready to face adversity courageously. You have to be willing to recognize what is worth sacrificing your comfort and your safety for. Because in comparison to some things, you know, when some things are at risk of being lost, like integrity and respect, honor and dignity, comfort and safety become secondary to those things when they're in jeopardy. And if one doesn't make that deliberate choice, that they will be forced to sacrifice themselves. They will be forced to sacrifice their spirit and their dreams. And comfort and safety still might not be guaranteed. It still might not be a guarantee in all of that. You can either live with the hardship of striving for your goals and doing the best you can, or you live with the hardship of regret, one or the other. Personally, I would rather live with the pain of striving for success and greatness than the hardship of regret, the pain of regret. But it takes heart. It takes heart to be brave in the face of adversity, to show those people that it's possible to break out of the mold, to overcome what is expected of you by your peers and by society, by the world, to live in freedom rather than in hearsay, or live by somebody else's will.